Truth is stranger than fiction, right?
Yeah.
Well, in mythology, let's just say things get a little wild. Today, we're on a deep dive into this Hindu myth, and it's a story about Brahma, his mother Adya, and wow, a web of lies and curses with some, really deep consequences.
Yeah, and even the source material we have is interesting. It's excerpts from this text. Brahma's Rikurzur Mutter. In English, that's Brahma's return to the mother. And, well, this story goes right for some core ideas right off the bat.
So Brahma returns to his mother Adya. Okay, seems pretty normal, right? But why is this such a big deal? What's going on here?
So the heart of the story is that Brahma wants to, impress his mother, and he claims that he's had darshan from his father, the supreme being.
Okay.
And this isn't, just a casual visit, right? They're Taran. This is seeing and being seen by a deity, and it's a huge deal in Hindu tradition. It's about blessings, about spiritual merit, a real, direct connection to the divine.
So Brahma's trying to earn some major cosmic brownie points here, claiming this super profound spiritual experience.
Yeah.
But
he made the whole thing up, right?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And he even, to really sell this lie, he gets two goddesses involved, Gayatri and Savitri, to back him up. Yeah. So they're, adding their voices to this whole fabrication of a divine encounter.
He's really going all in on this deception. But I have a feeling that Adha, as the ultimate cosmic mom, is not going to be happy about this. So what happens when she figures out the truth?
It doesn't go well. Adha, to put it mildly, is not pleased.
And she unleashes her fury, cursing Brahma and his, accomplices for this betrayal. And it's not just a slap on the wrist. These curses have serious lasting effects.
Okay, so you've got betrayal, some divine wrath, and some heavy consequences coming. But before we get into all of that, I kind of want to talk about Adha for a second.
Yeah.
She's shown as this loving mother, but also this powerful deity who's capable of, swift and decisive justice. What do you make of her character?
It's a really fascinating duality, right?
Well,
on the one hand, you have this deep, maternal love, but also this fierce protective energy. Adha really shows that complexity that you often see in Hindu deities, and it kind of reflects, the complex nature of the universe itself.
So let's talk about these curses, because they aren't just a slap on the wrist. Brahma, Gayatri, and Savitri, they're facing some serious consequences for what they did. So where do we even begin?
Well, Brahma's curse really gets at, the heart of what it means to be human.
Okay.
Adya, she curses him and all of his descendants to just always crave power and validation, but they'll never actually achieve true spiritual enlightenment.
So this isn't just about Brahma, messing up.
Yeah.
It's like this fundamental flaw that's now woven into what it means to be human.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this story is saying that, yearning for meaning, for connection, that's just inherently part of us.
Right.
But because of Brahma's lie, it's like that yearning is twisted, and it makes ego and deceit part of the equation.
It's a pretty bleak picture, honestly.
Yeah.
What about Gayatri and Savitri? They were involved, for sure, but it seems like they kind of got caught in the crossfire here.
Their curses are really tragic, and I think in a way they kind of speak to different sides of the truth.
Okay.
So Gayatri, the goddess of learning and wisdom, she's cursed to constantly be sought after for her knowledge, but she's forever doubted.
Oh, wow.
Imagine having all the answers, but no one believes you.
Yeah, that's like a special kind of torture. You're the smartest person in the room, but it's like your words just don't even matter. So what about Savitri? What happens to her?
Savitri's curse is more about, I think, enduring hardship. She's fated to be reborn over and over again into these really difficult, often really tragic circumstances. Her lineage is marked by suffering. It's like this cycle of pain that just echoes down through generations.
Wow. It's hard not to feel bad for them, even though they did go along with this lie. Do you think Adya maybe went too far? Is there any possibility for mercy in this kind of, divine justice?
I mean, that's a question that really gets to you,
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line between, righteous anger and forgiveness? And, even on this huge cosmic level, this myth doesn't really give us an easy answer. And honestly, that's probably why we're still talking about it.
It's true. And just when you think it can't get any more intense, Niranjan shows up. So remind us who he is again and what his arrival means in the story.
Niranjan is Brahma's actual father, the supreme being that Brahma lied about seeing.
Right.
He represents this cosmic order, karmic retribution, and when he shows up, it means things are about to get very real. He's there to confirm that Adya's curses are in motion, and, well, you can't escape them.
No pressure, Brahma. But seriously, it's like this huge emphasis on the whole concept of an eye for an eye. which feels really, really central to this story.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Niranjan, he is that principle in action. Every action has a consequence, and not just in this life, right? Like the choices that you make, they have these ripple effects that can impact future generations.
It really makes you think twice about the choices you make, huh? It's not just about you. It's about how those choices affect everyone and everything around you.
Yeah, and it brings us back to that idea of truth we were talking about earlier. Brahma's lie wasn't just like a personal mistake. It was like he messed with the balance of the universe, you know? And those consequences, they were felt everywhere.
It's interesting, too, how much the text focuses on the act of seeing. Like Brahma said he saw his father, and Gayatri and Savitri, they backed him up. But did they really see anything? What do you think the role of sight is in this story?
That's a really good point. It goes beyond just physical sight, right? The text really emphasizes darshan, that visual connection with the divine that's so powerful. But it makes you wonder, are we really seeing what we think we're seeing? Or are we missing something, even when we think we're seeing the truth?
Especially when you think about how much our own desires and fears, our need to be right, can change how we see things.
Exactly. And that's what makes this myth so relevant, even today. It reminds us to question what we believe, to be careful about just accepting what we're told, even if it's coming from someone who seems important.
To be open to the idea that there's always more to the story.
Yeah.
More to learn. And that sometimes the truth is way more complicated than we thought it was.
Yes, exactly. We've gone through betrayal, divine justice, some really deep questions about, what it means to be human. What stands out to you most from all of this? What will you be thinking about after we're done?
For me, it's that idea that everything's connected. What we do matters not just for us, but for, generations to come. It's a little humbling, honestly, maybe even a little scary, but it's also a good reminder to try to be better, to act with integrity, because we're all part of something so much bigger than ourselves.